Oscar De La Hoya tells Devin Haney to fire his father, Bill Haney, to get the rematch versus Ryan Garcia. Let's talk about that right now. This is serious grind boxing. I got to give you a quick jab of boxing news from around the world. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. You can already see I'm dedicated to the grind and I'm dedicated to you. That's why I'm doing what I do. Look, boxing fans, Oscar De La Hoya does a clapback and tells Devin Haney to fire his father. And this is just really mind-blowing right now. Look, we need to step back. And by we, I mean people like Oscar De La Hoya. I got a question. Do you feel as if he is hurting the sport of boxing? Let's talk about how that segment of clapback might be doing more harm than good. And the reason why I say that is because, listen, we got to get real. I understand that boxing thrives off of drama. It's part of what keeps, casual fans like myself engaged, right? But there's a line between entertainment and being completely outrageously illogical and toxic, especially if we are creating segments and we're doing nothing but focused on failure or calling people failures. We focused on lawsuits and talking about lawsuits and the feuds, and we're not just criticizing individuals, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It seems as if we are tearing individuals down and we are bringing the sport of boxing down. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, listen to this, man. Look at Devin Haney. This guy is a young, talented fighter who has accomplished a lot in his small boxing career, but instead of highlighting hard work, discipline, dedication, his skills, and even his potential for redeeming himself, everyone has reduced him to a punchline. And realistically, that's not even fair to him. It's not fair to fans, and it's not fair to the sport of boxing. It's easy to point to something negative on somebody, but guess what? It's very difficult or a little harder to uplift them. And I'm telling you right now, it seems as if boxing needs a facelift. And that's what I like about what Turki Al-Sheikh said from Ring Magazine. He said that people need to get used to boxers losing again. Muhammad Ali lost 5 times and people still consider him the GOAT. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that mentality right there. Now, I'm not doing this super critique of boxing because, look, I know that boxing is not perfect. I know that there's corruption in boxing. I know there's mismanagement in boxing. I know that the careers of boxers get mismanaged. I know it's a lot of questionable decisions. I know referees have problems sometimes. There are a lot of issues that frustrate boxing fans. And of course, a lot of the boxers right now who's stepping inside of that square circle, they're frustrated. They don't feel like they're being fairly compensated. But I'm gonna tell you this: when the loudest voice in the room is focused on doing nothing but tearing people down, what happens is it creates a culture of nothing but toxic, nothing but negative. You got what I'm saying? And that negativity kind of trickles down to everybody. Now, promoters, they hesitate. It's what don't you think about Top Rank, PBC, Matchroom, all of these promoters right now, they hesitate to make big fighters fight each other. Why though? Because of the backlash that so many of these individuals are constantly getting. Fighters, they have to avoid risk because they don't want to end up being a meme on your Facebook post. You understand what I'm saying? Speaking of Facebook, hey man, we got a serious grind boxing Facebook group and we trying to build that. So hey, feel free to go over there. But look, a lot of these fans in my mind are just disillusioned with the sport of boxing. You got what I'm saying? Now, boxing is already struggling to keep pace with combat sports like MMA organizations. Look at Bellator, UFC. Look, they are giving the fans the big fights that they want to see, and they do it They sprinkle a little drama, but they do it with all that extra drama. It ain't none of that. You got what I'm saying? And when they fight or lose, it's okay. He just go back to the drawing board, train up, and then he get back to throwing punches. You understand what I'm saying? But boxing, it is bogged down right now by people who seem to hate the sport of boxing. You got fighters ducking each other. You got endless negotiations. You got social media beef. No, I'm going to call it social media wars. I'm telling you, man. Look, people who are really casual fight fans are looking at people who supposed to love the sport, and they are focused on nothing but being negative. So what happens is it's giving a casual viewer like me every single reason to tune out. But don't get it twisted. I am not tuning out. I am going to keep my eyes locked on boxing. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. Oscar De La Hoya, that little clapback, it's entertaining. What he does is entertaining. But I'm telling you this, man. A long time ago, a person told me, in this world that you're living in right now, you're either going to build or you're going to destroy. And when I'm listening to Oscar De La Hoya, nothing that he said was constructive. You know what I'm saying? It didn't encourage fans to believe in the future of boxing. It didn't inspire young fighters to chase their dreams. No, it didn't do none of that. What it did is created nothing but negativity. And now a lot of the people who are currently in the sport, they thriving on that negativity. Like, yeah, F them. But realistically, no. What are we doing? Look, boxing has to have a future, right? So if you destroy the people in the present, you got what I'm saying? And you discrediting the people in the past, then how can you build a future? Does that make sense, what I'm saying? Anyway, look, man, boxing is more than just trash talk. It's more than just having some social media war. You got what I'm saying? It's supposed to be about comebacks. It's supposed to be about an individual who took a loss, who had a rivalry, and then he worked himself and trained, you know what I'm saying? And then got his get back in the ring. That triumph story, that's what it's supposed to be. That's what boxing is supposed to be about. You got what I'm saying? It's about fighters putting everything into what they're doing. Because these fighters, they're putting their life on the line to achieve what they consider greatness. And them achieving greatness is what you call entertainment. You get what I'm saying? Like, they are doing everything that they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why I wish we would just focus on, these fighters just doing what they supposed to do. Because if we don't celebrate what I'm going to call the heart and soul of the sport of boxing, then we're doing nothing but hurting the sport of boxing. We are doing it a major disservice. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I'm jumping on right now. I got to give you facts and fire. You understand what I'm saying? That's why this called to cut the bull, because they need to cut that bull out. You understand what I'm saying? I'm telling you, we need to bring the respect that this sport deserves, because these individuals are stepping in the ring, putting their life on the line. You got what I'm saying? We need to build boxing up instead of constantly tearing it down, because, man, at the end of the day, man, if these boxers are not doing it and these fighters are not doing what they do, then who's going to do it? You got what I'm saying? We got to prepare everything for the future. And this ain't I'm not on a soapbox. I'm just listening to De La Hoya. Now, peep this. Now, Oscar De La Hoya, he's an Olympian. He is an Olympian. He was in professional boxing, and he is a legend in boxing. So think about this. A legend in boxing, a legendary Olympian who becomes a boxing promoter, and now he's doing nothing but trashing the boxers in the sport. That makes no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? And then when I'm listening to this clapback, I'm like, oh, man, it's entertaining. But as I'm analyzing what he's saying, I'm like, wow, this is what he did now. An individual who made illogical decisions in the past, or hey, maybe logical decisions in the past, did wrong, went to prison, became an ex-convict, became a felon, was an actual bad guy back in the day, and maybe he had some pimping and all this other stuff, but when I research his background, hey man, he did a lot of other things. You got what I'm saying? Like, hey, he breaking them laws. You got what I'm saying? So if he was a criminal, and then what he did, he put himself in a position where his children would not have to go down the same path and make the same decisions that he made. He trained his son to be a boxer. His son was getting in trouble in school. So then he let his son train to become a boxer. And at 16 years old, they was in Mexico. At 16, but they turned professional and they were fighting adults in Mexico. That's what Devin Haney was doing. Then, when it was legal for him to fight in the United States, they came back to the United States, eventually became a champion, and then eventually became undisputed champion of the world. And this guy is 23 years old. That guy is so young. You got what I'm saying? Like, that's the guy that we are speaking negative about? That's the bad father? What? That is the dream of every freaking parent, to see something in your mind, see greatness in your mind, and then put a plan together and then achieve the greatness that you saw in your mind. What? Do you know how difficult that is? I'm telling you, that is very difficult. So I'm not even understanding how you clap back at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, he was a pimp. He was a ex-convict. Well, hey, he did that, 30 years ago? So 30 some years ago, this guy, went to prison and was a convict and was a felon, etc. And then he went 30 some years and didn't break the law. What are we talking about? What we doing is we are destroying the future of boxing. Those are my thoughts. You got what I'm saying? These are my thoughts. And I really think that we need to cut the bull. We need to build this sport up. And, more than likely, nobody will listen to me. Nobody will care anyway. You got what I'm saying? Because it seems as if people thrive off of the negative. They don't thrive off of the positive. If you talk about something positive that you're doing, oh man, people don't want to hear that. But if you tell them, some negative shit you do, oh man, they love it. They love the negative over the positive because the drama sells. It attracts the people, and that's horrible because SHI attracts flies. You understand what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. It just makes no sense. And I had to get on and just let it be known that Oscar De La Hoya needs to cut the bull. As it applies to Devin the Dream Haney, Devin the Dream Haney needs to continue to do exactly what he's doing, which is train hard and try to get another belt and just try to work hard in the sport of boxing. He is the youngest undisputed that ever lived. And then he's for his weight class and in this 4-belt era. And then with Ryan Garcia, he needs to not use performance enhancement drugs, whether that played a part of him knocking Devin Haney down or not. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, just make the weight that you agreed to in the contract and don't use performance enhancement drugs because they're illegal. And that is it's just that simple. You got what I'm saying? Like, Bill Haney is not gonna stop being the manager of Devin Haney just because Oscar De La Hoya, somebody that don't like him, said it. You know what I'm saying? Oscar De La Hoya, he needs to focus on Golden Boy Promotions and doing great things with Golden Boy Promotions. That's what makes sense to me. I'm not understanding why people will keep saying all these illogical, or why he's saying all these illogical, negative things. Like, people are looking up. Well, people used to look up to Oscar De La Hoya. I used to think that Oscar De La Hoya was somebody good. You know what I'm saying? And then when I'm hearing this type of stuff, I'm like, man, no, he's not. And I didn't put him on a pedestal, so I know he's imperfect. But I'm just saying, if you're trying to make the sport of boxing live and thrive for the future, then you got to do better. so you got to cut the bull. You got what I'm saying? These are all of my thoughts that only, maybe -0.2 people will listen to. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it just is what it is. Look, this is Serious Grind Boxing. Look, we got a Serious Grind Boxing group on Facebook. Feel free to join. There's not a lot of individuals in there, but hopefully the vision for me is that I want to build different individuals. I want to build that group up so that individuals will have a safe space to come and discuss boxing, and without the harsh critique and criticism. Look, man, nobody on this planet is perfect. You got what I'm saying? We all striving to be better. So this is what I want you to do. I need you to stay on the grind. I'll talk to you later. Peace.